अवाक्चिन्ताभिलपनां प्रज्ञापारमितामजाम् अनिरोधां नभोरूपां स्वसंविज्ञानगोचरां प्रत्येकैकस्यतां वन्दे त्रिकालजिनमातरम्। मैले यस्तो सुने एक समयमा भगवान राजगृहमा गृध्रकूट पर्वतमा ठुलो भिक्षु सङ्घका साथमा र ठुलो बोधिसत्व सङ्घका साथमा विहार गर्नुभएको थियो। त्यो बेलामा नै भगवान गम्भीराव सम्बोध नाम गरेको समाधिमा प्रवेश गर्नुभयो। त्यही बेलामा आर्य अवलोकितेश्वर बोधिसत्व महासत्व गम्भीर प्रज्ञा पारमितामा चर्या गर्दै रहँदा यसरी हेर्नुहुन्थ्यो कि पञ्चस्कन्धहरूलाई स्वभाव शून्य देख्नुहुन्थ्यो। अनि आयुष्मान सारिपुत्रले बुद्धको अनुभवले गर्दा आर्य अवलोकितेश्वर बोधिसत्वलाई यस्तो भन्नुभयो, जो कोही कुलपुत्रले यो गम्भीर प्रज्ञा पारमितामा चर्या गर्न इच्छा गर्दछ भने उसले कसरी सिक्नु पर्दछ। यति भनेपछि आर्य अवलोकितेश्वर बोधिसत्व महासत्वले आयुष्मान सारिपुत्रलाई यस्तो भन्नुभयो, हे सारिपुत्र, जो कोही कुलपुत्र या कुलपुत्रीले यो गम्भीर प्रज्ञा पारमितामा चर्या गर्न इच्छा गर्दछ उसले यसरी हेर्नु पर्दछ। ती पञ्चस्कन्धहरूलाई पनि स्वभाव शून्य देख्छ। रूप शून्यता हो, शून्यता नै रूप हो। रूपभन्दा शून्यता बेग्लै होइन, शून्यताभन्दा रूप बेग्लै होइन। जुन रूप हो त्यही नै शून्यता हो, जुन शून्यता हो त्यही नै रूप हो। यसै गरी वेदना, संज्ञा, संस्कारहरू र विज्ञान पनि शून्यता नै हुन्। यस प्रकार हे सारिपुत्र, सम्पूर्ण धर्महरू शून्यता लक्षणवाला छन्। उत्पन्न नभएका, निरोध नभएका, मल नभएका, विमल पनि नभएका, कमी नभएका, सम्पूर्ण पनि नभएका छन्। त्यसकारण नै सारिपुत्र शून्यतामा न रूप हुन्छ, न वेदना, न संज्ञा, न संस्कारहरू, न विज्ञान हुन्छन्। न चक्षु हुन्छ, न कान, न नाक, न जिब्रो, न शरीर, न मन हुन्छ। न रूप हुन्छ, न शब्द, न गन्ध, न रस, न स्पष्टव्य हुन्छ, न धर्महरू हुन्छन्। न चक्षु धातु हुन्छ र त्यहाँदेखि लिएर न मनोधातुसम्म केही हुन्छ। न धर्म धातु छ, न मनोविज्ञान धातु छ, न विद्या छ, न विद्याक्षय छ, र यहाँदेखि लिएर न जरा मरणसम्म केही छ, न जरा मरणको क्षय नै छ। न दुःख समुदय निरोध र मार्गहरू छन्, न ज्ञान छ, न प्राप्ति छ, न अप्राप्ति नै छ। त्यसकारण हे सारिपुत्र, प्राप्ति नहुनुले गर्दा बोधिसत्वहरूको प्रज्ञा पारमितालाई आश्रय गरेर चित्तको आवरण हट्दछ। चित्तको आवरण नभएपछि त्रासरहित भएर विपर्यासहरूलाई अतिक्रमण गरेर निर्वाणमा स्थित हुन्छन्। तिनै कालमा भएका सबै बुद्धहरू प्रज्ञा पारमितालाई आश्रय बनाएर नै अनुत्तर सम्यक सम्बोधिमा अभिसम्बुद्ध भएका हुन्छन्। त्यसकारणले प्रज्ञा पारमिताको महामन्त्रलाई जान्नु पर्दछ, जुन अनुत्तर मन्त्र हो। त्यो समानको अर्को कुनै पनि नभएको मन्त्र हो। सबै दुःखहरूलाई शान्त पार्ने मन्त्र हो। यो सत्य हो, मिथ्या नभएको हुनाले प्रज्ञा पारमितामा बताइएको मन्त्र हो, जुन यस प्रकार छ, गते गते पार सङ्गते बोधि स्वाहा। गते गते पार सङ्गते बोधि स्वाहा। गते गते पार सङ्गते बोधि स्वाहा। यसरी सारिपुत्र गम्भीर प्रज्ञा पारमितामा चर्या गर्न बोधिसत्वले सिक्नुपर्छ। अनि त भगवान त्यस समाधिबाट जागेर आर्य अवलोकितेश्वर बोधिसत्वलाई साधुवाद दिनुभयो। साधु साधु कुलपुत्र, त्यो ठिक हो, कुलपुत्र त्यो ठिक हो। गम्भीर प्रज्ञा पारमितामा यसरी नै बोधिसत्वले सिक्नुपर्छ, जस्तो कि तिमीले निर्देश गर्यौ। तथागत अरहन्तहरूले अनुमोदन गर्नुहुन्छ। भगवानले यस्तो भन्नुभयो, उदात्त मन भएका आयुष्मान सारिपुत्र र आर्य अवलोकितेश्वर बोधिसत्व सहित त्यो सबै परिषद, देव, मनुष्य, असुर, गन्धर्व सहित लोकले भगवानले भनेको कुरालाई अभिनन्दन गरे।
So today we will conclude with me just summarizing the end of the sutra. Nepal is so special, and personally for me, there's just so many memories. I have walked from Gorakhpur to Lumbini to catch next bus to Kathmandu in order to receive 16 Karmapa Rangjung Rigvidoji's teaching. I have joined 16 Karmapa when he used to circumambulate Bauddhanath Stupa somewhere around 3 in the morning. This is also a place where I have received so many teachings from Chapjit Tujum Rinpoche. And of course, I have to single out Chapjit Chense Rinpoche, who actually nurtured me physically and spiritually and emotionally. Even today, every time I go to Tirpuvan airport, Tirpuvan, right? I have memory of going there to see him off every time he goes somewhere. So for me to have this opportunity to have such kind of time and situation to share a very profound teaching such as Prajnaparamita in this place, here in this city, is really special. And I have to share this, I have to sort of show off. I have written some sort of a poem for Nepal. And it goes something like this. Way to go, Nepal. Your sovereign and family wiped out.
Sorry.
You are sovereign, you are like a king, and the family wiped out completely.
Sorry,
Just briefly.
Okay.
No government for decades, constant infighting, bullied by neighbors, and ravaged by earthquake. You still stand on your feet. You have not lost the touch of the divine, not bloated by any superiority complex, nor deflated by any inferiority complex. In myriad ways, you still make many high, not
还有
high.
从很多方法，你还是令人
And your temple bells still ring. So that's my, I don't know, expression of Nepal and how I feel. This is where Buddha was born. And one of my book mentions the Prince of India, Buddha. Many Nepalese were offended. Saying, Buddha, Siddhartha was born in Lumbini, not in India. He was not a prince of India. I'm so happy that they are annoyed. Please, do more than just being annoyed. Yes, Siddhartha was born in Lumbini, and if he is still alive, he would be holding a Nepalese passport. But that's not good enough. You have to embrace him. This is the best gift Nepal have given to the world. Nepal, and for somewhat, India has forgotten this man. Look at these Chinese. They come here. For what? They have everything there. They don't have to come here and sniff the dust. Look at the Westerners. They are here giving up everything in their home. Why? Just because of this guy called Siddhartha. Yes, Shiva, Vishnu, Krishna. All these gods, they probably are there, but they are not a human being, so they can't have a citizenship. If Siddhartha is still alive, he is a Nepali Daju, right? Daju? Is it? Daju? Right. Daju is what? Elder brother, okay.
所以如果大家都
He's a Nepali elder brother. Okay, now going back to the more serious business. So we have been talking about a view which is the quintessential teaching of the Prajnaparamita Hridaya. And I have talked again and again, the right view is important. And the reason why it's important, again I'm repeating here, and this need to be repeated. Because we are all confused. We are always in confusion. We have delusion, basically, delusion. Tul is delusion, confused, delusion. Looking at things that are illusion and thinking it's real is a delusion, and that's what we have. And what does delusion do? It leads us to disappointment. It leads us to pain, suffering. And what kind of delusions we have? So many. What was it? Now I'm getting, what do you call it? Dembarta. Okay. Something that is actually fundamentally pain and suffering, because of the delusion, we see as a joy or bliss. Something that has things that does not have any kind of inherently existing nature, we keep on seeing it as real and inherently existing. Things that are fundamentally filthy, such as this hand, we see it as clean. It's thanks to the soap, the shampoo, the shower taking, what do you call it? Pedicure, manicure, all that, it looks clean, but it's fundamentally, you try not to, do all of that, not wash your hands, not clip your nail, then you will see it's fundamentally filthy. But we always end up seeing it as clean and things that are fundamentally impermanent, fundamentally shifting, drifting, fading, decaying, we see it as permanent. And why do we have that? Because we have the lack of having the right view. And because of this kind of delusion, we go on deeper, and we go deeper and deeper into more confusion and more suffering. And not just the things that I've just mentioned. Actually, there's so many things. I think, for instance, I don't know, let's speculate. Looking at something totalitarian, we always think it's a democracy. Like something impermanent, we see it as permanent. Something that's totalitarian, dictatorial, actually we see it as a democracy. Misunderstanding, always confusion. And looking
有很多误会。Sorry，
looking at a system, we think it's a freedom. But a system by nature is not a freedom. System is a system. You are already sort of closed. It's a system, but many times we could think it's a freedom. I don't know, like generating the poverty mentality or generating this mentality of there's always a lack of this, lack of that. We think it's economy. Stress such as scheduling, organization, management is misunderstood as efficiency. It's terrible. It's really terrible. It's so depressing, actually. Like for instance, I'm already making a plan, 2018 December. So date this and that, I'll be here, there. That time hasn't even come and it's already crossed. The future time is already gone. And sucking up to other people's idea is misunderstood as an education. And a clever plagiarism is misunderstood as originality. And near skeleton look like are misunderstood as a beauty. Conducted bulimic problems are considered as a healthy living. Okay? Conducted and organized bulimic, people who vomit after eating, that kind of lifestyle, not eating, refraining, dieting, is considered, it's like the healthy and, beauty, whatever. There's just so much delusion, so much. I'm waiting for the iPhone 8, and I'm a prisoner of Apple Macintosh. Everything. If I lost this, I would not know who I'm having lunch with today. I used to remember the not only the names, but even the phone numbers of other people by heart. Now I don't even know my own phone number. So, the delusion which creates suffering is what we need to liberate ourselves from. So for that, path is necessary. And path, as I've said right at the beginning, was taught by the Buddha for different people, different capacities, different faculties. For some, he taught things that he really meant it. For others, his teachings were provisional. Buddha used all kinds of methods, not just lips moving, to teach. He did not only just use the language, he used everything, every gesture, every look. The Shakyamuni Buddha appearing barefoot, the barefoot is a teaching. Begging arm is a teaching. When in the, I don't know, some of you may have read Vimalakirti Sutra, there, when Ananda was asked to go, Vimalakirti, this guy is supposedly sick somewhere, so Buddha asked Ananda to go and ask how he is, and Ananda refused. The reason is, Ananda said, I was totally, embarrassed by this guy called Vimalakirti, because Ananda was, looking for something to drink, right?
I forgot.
I don't know, was it? Do you remember anyone? For Buddha. And because Buddha was not well. And Vimalakirti turned up from a corner and said, Ananda, what are you doing? And then when Ananda explained, I'm looking for this because Buddha is not well, Vimalakirti said, what? You should not be talking like this in the public. It's just such a, embarrassing. Buddha never gets sick. Buddha is beyond sickness. Buddha doesn't need this kind of thing. This is your mind. So he completely sort of humiliated Ananda. And anyway, as I said, Buddha taught in many different ways. And many of his teachings, but anyway, the content, the essence of the teaching, the subject of the teachings are always something like Four Noble Truths or Two Truths. And I have said this yesterday or day before, that even the two truths is only for the sake of communication. There is no such thing as truly existing true truth. There are few things that you need to remember. One is this, the true truth, the concept of true truth is only for the sake of communication. The other thing that you need to also remember is even though we talk about true truth as the relative truth, as something more inferior, ultimate truth as a superior, but we have to bear in mind they are actually one. When, I don't know whether I should use the word one. Basically, we need to learn that these two are not a separate entity. The dismantling of the non-truth is the truth. Deconstruction of the relative truth lends yourself into the ultimate truth. This is why, again, for the sake of conversation between a student and a teacher, especially for the practitioners, uniting the two truths is like the homework, so to speak, the practice. Uniting the two truths is like the homework or the practice. How should I say? And it comes in many, many different different myriad of expression. The union of two truths. It's a little bit tricky here, because when we talk about a union, we always think there's a two separate entity that need to be united, but it's not like that. It's a bit like a light and the shadow. In a way, they're a separate thing, but on the other hand, no light is the shadow, no, vice versa. I'm trying to answer some of the questions yesterday, because it is true that as you read Heart Sutra like Mahayana Sutras, no nose, no eyes, no this, no that, no virtue, no non-virtue, no death, no end of the death, no nirvana, no samsara, you could misunderstood as something very nihilist, but that is absolutely not right. This is what said, if you misunderstood shunyata, it's the gravest consequences you can go through. And similarly, also I should mention to you, we should not also have clinging to a concept called emptiness. Even the emptiness does not exist. Absolutely important. Buddha said to Kashyapa, mountain-like ego is okay, but sesame seed-like, attachment to emptiness is worse. Yeah. So it's really important the practitioners know how to really, for the lack of communication, how to harmonize the relative truth and ultimate truth. I have this question somebody asked this morning, I think it's from another, through the internet. I eat breakfast, I know it's a tomato, is that a judgment? Well, here we need to know, if you're talking about judgment as in ethic, morality, bad and good, sort of puritanical thing, then it is not a judgment. If you want to eat a tomato, but accidentally you put a potato that looks reddish and misunderstand this as a tomato, for that kind of thing, you need some sort of a judgment that this is tomato, this is not potato, so and so. Here, what we need to know is a tomato is a label. It's a label, and then there's many different ways of, labeling it due to different culture. When a Nepalese make dishes, they have a certain way of looking at a tomato. And I'm sure when the Italians make pasta sauce, pomodoro, right? Pomodoro, they have a different way of looking at the tomato. And goodness knows what the goats and the fish and the birds think about the tomato. I don't think they call it tomato. I don't know whether they go so fussy about the tomatoes. Because the Italians and Japanese can really go fussy with the tomato.
意大利人跟
Especially if you are making a good pomodoro sauce, isn't it? And I don't know, it does have an effect. It does have an effect. This kind of, education, this kind of influence does effect. It does seem to have, the Italian pomodoro seems to be different from the, pomodoro served in Delhi, for instance. You understand? Psychologically, it could be. Yeah. So basically, it is, as one of the questioner was asking, is it a belief? Yes, it is a belief. Tomato is also a belief. For the time being, Shunyata is as belief as tomato is a belief. But for Buddhists, our aim is to shrug off all the belief, including the tomato and the shunyata. That does not mean that an enlightened being will have no more tomato. Enlightened being can still have a tomato, just as how a mother is playing with a kid, building a sandcastle. This is why, for Avalokiteshvara, just switching the sex when he arrives in China, it's just so easy. It's like probably more easier than changing underpants. You have to read the part where in the Vimalakirti Sutra, where Shariputra went to visit Vimalakirti's house, and then instead of meeting Vimalakirti, Shariputra encountered this sort of Vimalakirti's, I don't know, maid, maybe his girlfriend, this beautiful woman. And Shariputra, proper monk, should not be, in one room with a girl, talking too long, talking too intimate. And he was a little bit, uncomfortable. But the girl, the goddess, she transformed Shariputra into a woman. And Shariputra says, oh my goodness, I've become a woman. You understand, so paranoid. And then the girl keeps saying, what do you mean by woman? What is woman? It's just, it's like that, we just have to shrug off from the view, all kinds of view. For the enlightened being, for a Buddha, they don't have two truths. They don't. The Nyingmapas have a very good term called demi tsensa sin, which means like being able to hold the original fort, so to speak, fort. Citadel, or the fort, territory. Remember I gave you the example of audience, magician, and the guy who has nothing to do with the magic? I have a better example. Okay. Husband and a wife is sleeping in a queen-size bed.
先生
Don't
跟
worry, don't worry, it's not going to become that explicit. And wife has an insomnia problem. Husband is sleeping and dreaming that he's being raped by an elephant. And so he's like shouting, and he's like, all kinds of things. The wife is, what's going on here? The wife thinks something definitely is not right. Because, oftentimes there's a very thin line between the sound of suffering and the sound of ecstasy. Okay, we need to also have another person sleeping somewhere in the next room. Now, this example is important. The room is very small.
房间
Can't fit elephant and husband and a wife on one king-size bed. King-size bigger or queen size bigger? Anyway, doesn't matter. You can't fit these three. Meaning, before the husband was dreaming being raped, the elephant was not there. And while he is being raped, elephant is also not there. Before the husband and wife sleeps, okay? Elephant was not there. It's not like they sort of leashed, they have, pet elephant sitting there. So wife, knowing that something is definitely not right, pour a glass of water on husband. Husband wakes up and elephant goes. But actually elephant does not exist to go, right? So what is samsara and the nirvana? Experience with the elephant is the samsara. After the wife throwing the water, elephant going, no more elephant problem, is the nirvana. Did the water help chewing away the elephant? Of course not. There was no elephant. So both samsara and the nirvana is fake. Elephant is fake, and no more elephant is fake. But husband should still thank the wife for the throwing the water because it helped him. Because he was about to be raped, or he was being raped, doesn't matter. He should still, thank you, you saved me. He should still say that. Next room, nothing is happening. No elephant, no more elephant, no water, nothing. For the next room person. While the husband is dreaming, the elephant, if the husband knows this is a dream, meaning he knows elephant is emptiness. Emptiness is elephant, so on and so forth. Husband might, let me experience this. Husband might say, yes, come on, more. Use your trunk, use your, everything, whatever. Like really, really transcendental kinkiness, so to speak. You understand? Okay, I should control here. And that is what we are talking about, uniting the relative truth and ultimate truth. So important. And it comes in many different expressions, uniting the ultimate truth and relative truth, uniting compassion and emptiness, uniting, wisdom and method, uniting appearance and emptiness. Basically, this is another thing you need to remember. All the Buddhist practice must have this. If you are wanting to talk about a practice, the practice has to have this flavor or this sort of principle of uniting the two truths. That's important. Of course, right now, for most of us, we are beginner. Through hearing and contemplation, we have a little sort of vague, drenchi, sort of rough idea, sort of very vague idea of shunyata. But if we keep on hearing, contemplate, and meditate or practice, first you will have a conviction towards that. Then you will dwell with this path. And then here again I repeat, when I say practice, it means everything, prostrations, offerings, confession, requesting the Buddhas to teach the Dharma, so on and so forth. All this is accepted and encouraged. And then, of course, meditation, samadhi. I think samadhi is better. Samadhi, utmost important. In the Samadhi Raja Sutra, Buddha told Shariputra how important samadhi is. And please remember, I told you already many times, samadhi, big chunk of samadhi is something to do with the not being distracted. Okay, again, going back to uniting the two truths. So, uniting the two truths, meaning, love, compassion, meditation, any kinds of, bodhicitta, whatever, must always have the view of shunyata. any kinds of act, even a simple act like offering a flower, if it is accompanied by the view of shunyata, then it's a paramita. And I'm telling you, any kinds of act, you can do retreats,
包括
you can chant mantras, you can circumambulate stupas, you can pick up garbages around the stupas or the temples. And this is important, even, like doing some sort of administration work in a monastery or some kind of a, dharma-related work. Administration, you may not chant one mantra, you may not sit 1 minute. From morning till night, you are making a photocopying, I don't know, answering emails, whatever. But if you do it with the right motivation, and if you apply the shunyata, it has become paramita, the paramita of photocopying, I should say. But for the beginners, bringing the shunyata in when you do those things is very difficult. Right? Shunyata is on an intellectual level, concept level, and making a photocopy or offering an incense is more like a very tangible level. These two cannot be joined together, so to speak. So for that, Paltru Rinpoche has given us such a compact, easy, pithy instruction. It's called Dambasum. 3 what? Excellent, supreme ideas, 3 supreme ideas.
那就是这
Ideals or idea. To really begin with a good motivation, the first, the intention. Intention or motivation, which one is better? Similar? Okay, intention or motivation, whatever you do. Like whatever you do, photocopy, I don't know, boiling of water for somebody, whatever, you do it with the right motivation, in the Mahayana, to enlighten all sentient beings. Now here, I will share you my own experience. I'm forgetful and I'm very lazy. So every time I do something seemingly good, like, I don't know, giving a coin to a beggar or saying hi to somebody who is waiting 24 hours to hear me saying hi, whatever, you understand? Every time I do this, I don't remember this intention business. You understand what I mean? Every time you do something, you don't remember this. You don't think like, okay, let me say hi for the benefit of all sentient beings. Hi, it doesn't come. So I do it this way. Well, not all the time, because even that I don't remember. But when I'm in a more sober mood, in the morning, right in the morning, I said, okay, today, whatever I do, may it somehow, one way or another, benefit sentient beings. I think this is good. Yeah, I might end up annoying somebody, but with this annoyance that I've created, may it become a karmic link so that I will benefit this or that person. Okay, that's the first one. The second idea is the wholesome thing you can do is to remember whatever you do, it is an illusion. It's like a dream. This is so important, actually. Thinking everything is just my mind. It's just my projection. It's an illusion. That's like, I would say, 90% job done to get close to the shunyata. And but of course, our skill and the strength to think that everything is illusion at the moment is not big. For instance, like time. Intellectually, we know it's very relative. A good time with the friends and family goes like this. An hour in some prison, really slow. So intellectually, we know time is actually an illusion. But if a hungry tiger comes for us, that's not an illusion. This is something I want to say. Here there's another stupa. There's a place called Namo Buddha where a bodhisattva gave up his own body to hungry tigers. People think it's a legend because they don't understand the width and the breadth and the depth and the vastness of the Shunyata. That's why they think it's a legend. I think in China, during the ghost festival or something, they burn paper money, paper, cars, houses, and you really burn. We have no qualms. You don't even think, you don't think, no, let's not burn the $100 note. Let's burn. You don't think like that. You understand? Because it's all fake. This is how that bodhisattva, long time ago, this is how he looked at his own body. Completely fake. So the bodhisattva not only not have pain, they have joy. But this is something that you and I cannot understand. We should understand this.
我们应该要了解。
Because I don't see you carrying your Barbie doll.
What?
Barbie doll, right? Which you really loved and clutched when you were a small child. You have renounced the Barbie doll. It's fake. I don't see you all holding Barbie doll at the moment. Those days you bitterly cry. Even the Barbie doll has a little scratch. And now it's an illusion. Some of you. I know there are people who actually carry Barbie doll also, I have to say. Now you have different kinds of toys, like Ferraris, I don't know, flat in the posh areas, stuff like that. Gold earring, diamond rings, stuff like that. When you are about 97, I think some of you will realize it's an illusion. When you're 97, it will be like a tablecloths and the salt shakers that you will think it's so precious. So actually, Bodhisattva giving the tiger is understandable. It's not a legend. Thinking it's just a story, just a legend proves that, I was talking about open-mindedness. It proves that you are not open-minded, we are not open-minded. Towards the end of whatever you do, you should dedicate the merit. That is really important. Again, I do it towards the evening, whenever I remember. And beginning with a motivation to enlighten all sentient beings, ending with dedicating the merit to all the sentient beings. That alone is very, very connected to Shunyata. And so we then have Tatyata Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisoha, the mantra. Just academic, this is just a small academic information. This mantra is different from the tantric mantra a little bit. But mantra is supposedly Yichop, how to say? Yeah, mantra has the connotation of protecting the mind. So when the Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisoha, if you chant and if you dwell on the meaning, definitely it protects your mind from distraction. And then just very briefly, the first gate also can be like, let's go or go to the path of accumulation. Go. Go transcend this delusion, this ordinary delusion, transcend, go beyond this and go to the path of accumulation. The second gate is to transcend the path of accumulation and go to the path of application. And then paragate is transcend the path of application and go to the path of seeing. And then parasamgate bodhisoha is transcend the path of seeing and path of meditation. Basically, transcend the path. Remember, transcend the belief, shrug it off all. Just think of this. Going back to, I was telling you guys, I was watching BBC and there's this religious experts who says, all religions are violent. How can this be violent? This religion, if it is a religion, is talking about transcending the path also. To be a Buddhist is not utmost important for Buddhist. There's not even one shloka, one stanza in the whole entire Buddhist world where it says, may all become Buddhist. We pray, may all become Buddha, awakened one. Basically, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisoha is saying that at the end, you shrug off Buddhism too. Use it for now, but abandon it once the job is done. Take a car or a taxi to go to Bauda. Once you reach Bauda, you should not just sit in the taxi, because then the purpose is lost. Actually get out of the taxi as soon as possible. Mahamudra and Mahasandhi people, they do prayers and prayers to get out of this path as soon as possible. The others are busy praying to get out of the samsara. At that point, Shakyamuni Buddha arose. He walked, he spoke. Buddha said, good. He confirmed the discussion was valid. I could just picture it, like an amazing scene, the whole that, this arhats, the bodhisattvas, the mahasattvas, like these monks, those who are shaved and serene and maroon, and this bodhisattvas with a nose ring, earring, anklet, and I don't know, with their, horses, elephants, and lions parked in the car park. It's just so amazing. I could just, Avalokiteshvara may have come from somewhere in India, Avalokiteshvara may have come from somewhere from India. I don't know what is his ride in India, but maybe without a ride, maybe he had a lift. And Manjushri with his blue snow line riding from China. And I could just smell all those Chinese, things to nibble, like the dry mushrooms and tea and stuff like that. All the paraphernalia. You can just imagine all these horses and the lions and the dragons and all this parked like beneath the vulture's peak. I think there's enough space, isn't it? Vulture's peak, And then the king of Magadha, who was the sponsor there, he was there with his, all the, bodyguards and all the stuff. And then, of course, the snobbish gods with their amazing rides. And also the asuras, who are the the arch rival of the gods. They are also there listening to this. And then there's Gandharvas who must be so annoyed when the Manjushiris attendants are nibbling with Chinese mushrooms and I don't know, nuts and tea, because the Gandharvas, they just can't handle anything chewable. Like, what's this? What are they doing here? Smelly tofu and all of that. Anyway, the session ended with a great applause from heaven, earth, Nagas, Devas, Gandharvas, everyone. And many, 100 years later, such teachings was somehow managed to travel to places like China through the Silk Route. And even from the West, King Milinda, right? Milinda of the Greece had an interest. And the King Tizong decided to spend 90% of the Tibetan national budget on translating these, sacrificing thousands of young Tibetan brightest and the best. Many of them died en route to India, bitten by mosquitoes and etc. And there are people like Wu Zetian, right? The Chinese princess Wu Zetian, who also made a big deal out of these sutras and put even her own quotations. Saying these things because this is tested, used, practiced, and proven its validity. Years after years, centuries after centuries. So today I'm not going to have any questions or anything. We will end here. This is the end of the Prajnaparamita Shitya. I cannot possibly claim that I have taught Prajnaparamita Sutra. Chandrakirti said, only someone who is on the first bhumi onwards can do that. But I hope I have created some sort of a curiosity for many people to explore this further. This is necessary. If 10 senators in Capitol Hill have some interest in this, the world will benefit. If 10 members of Tungnan Hai have some interest in this, the world will benefit. If 20 kindergarten school teachers have interested in this, we will have a brighter world in the future. In every level, ecology, politics, everything, economy, everything. Well, I don't know how much merit we will have. I'm sure we have a little bit because we at least claim that we have been, receiving and teaching Prajnaparamita. And whatever the merit we have, we shall dedicate this to, the longevity of all the bodhisattvas, known and not known, enthroned and not enthroned. May they live long. May these bodhisattvas who were visibly a bodhisattva, may they live long. May the bodhisattvas who act as a prostitute somewhere in Bangkok or somewhere, may they have a really long life, and may they be very seductive, and may they really have a good business. And here I will conclude with Dolbua Sherab Jeltsen. He's a great Jonangpa master. He has a prayer. And with this, I will conclude. He said, Dani, Jewa Tamjedu, Tembi Kurchin Kurwarsho, Tembi Kurchin Kurwar Manuchang, Tempa Nyamchi Topai, Semtre Samyang Chungarsho, which means, may I again and again in my future life have the ability to really carry the heavy load of the Buddha Dharma. Even though I may not be able to carry this workload of propagating the Dharma. At the least, may I have a concern that the Dharma is going to be dwindling or diminishing. May I have this samte, meaning samtal is like a concern and worry. May I become a worrywart, basically. May I become a worry man, always worried about the decline of the Bodhidharma. Okay, so this is finished. You can go home now. There has been some request to do some ngondo lung, which I will do after the break. But, I'll do it after the break. But not everybody has to come. I'm not kicking you out, by the way. Also, people requested refuge and the bodhicitta vow. This is something I'll do very short. For those who don't really want to take refuge of Bodhisattva vow or take any of these transmissions, but they still want to sit here out of curiosity, you are welcome, but you will not receive the transmissions, you will not receive the refuge, even though you are here. Okay, one thing I need to clarify, taking refuge, you are not taking refuge to me. That's wrong. Matchmaker, husband and, girl and a boy, matchmaker. When you matchmake, you are not marrying the matchmaker. It's a bit like this, okay? You are taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, okay? Now, those who kind of wants to take refuge, never taken refuge before, but kind of want to do it, then I should tell you this. Taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha is a vow you are taking. Okay, don't panic, we are not going, there's no big, you can still drink, you can still have sex, all of that, you understand, it's not like this. Fundamentally, you are taking refuge to a system of non-duality, non-extreme. Therefore, after taking refuge to this system, you should not take refuge to a system that is not non-duality, that is extreme and that is dualistic. So, please, none of this, all religions are same, I'm partly sort of Christians, I'm partly Hindu, I'm partly Buddhist. That doesn't work. I have to be very clear. So, not to follow a leader or a guide that gives an extreme view. And also try not to harm others, even if you can't help. Not to have a spiritual companion that gives you a spiritual influence, but this spiritual person, so-called spiritual person, is not necessarily, not a non-dualistic system, doesn't belong to a non-dualistic system. Then doesn't work. Because if you go right, you go right. You can't go to right and left together. So I have told you this, so now we will take a break, and for those who don't want to come back, it has been very nice to be here, and I hope we will meet again.